Good morning, stackers. It's your boy GP with Zest Protocol and Stacking DAO, wishing you a very, very lovely start to your weekend. I hope that the high frequency vibes are surrounding you and that love is following you everywhere you go as you start your weekend. Had a little bit to talk about here, and I wanted to talk about the tensions in the Middle East and how Bitcoin may play a part in solving some of the tensions. So the market feels uncertain, but zoom out. Bitcoin is holding strong through chaos, war, macro pressure, volatility, and it's still here, absorbing everything thrown at it. That's not weakness, that's anti-fragility. And now we're seeing something bigger than price. In the middle of rising tension around the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important energy corridors on Earth, Iran is actively pushing a system where ships may be told in Bitcoin or crypto just to pass through. Think about that. So a global checkpoint that moves 20% of the world's oil reserves, potentially settling in Bitcoin or accessing Bitcoin. That's not speculation. That's real world demand being forced into existence. Zoom out even further. This is exactly what Bitcoin was built for, right? So neutral money in a fragmented world, settlement without permission, and infrastructure when trust breaks down. And now layer in Stacks. So this is where Stacks comes in. Stacks is turning Bitcoin from passive store of value into an active economy. DeFi secured by Bitcoin, apps settling on Bitcoin, and now the next unlock, self-custodial Bitcoin staking. Not yield from rehypothecation, not trusting centralized platforms, but earning Bitcoin while staying in control of your keys. A completely new primitive being built directly on Bitcoin. That's a paradigm shift. So while headlines scream fear, nation states are experimenting with Bitcoin for trade, capital keeps flowing into the ecosystem, and Bitcoin is evolving from an asset to a platform. Volatility is temporary, and adoption is happening in real time. Stay focused. The world is getting more unstable. Bitcoin is becoming more necessary, and Stacks unlocking self-custodial yield is becoming more powerful than ever. Build, stack, and stay early. This may have somewhat of a domino effect, seeing Iran using Bitcoin as the asset that you need to use to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. It may very well be the first major signal to other nation states that they can do similar practices like this, putting their infrastructure to play to earn Bitcoin. It's an interesting time to be in Bitcoin. There's everywhere you look, there's some new way to earn or something to do with your Bitcoin instead of it just being a store of value. So pay attention to what's going on Stacks. Stacks has been working on bringing the programmability layer to Bitcoin for a very long time. It's battle tested and has a very, very dedicated talented community of devs that all help each other move the needle. So I haven't seen anything similar to how the devs work in this ecosystem anywhere else. So it's very exciting to be in behind the scenes with some of these developers and getting to hear their thoughts on the direction that they're going to be building in, whether it be with Privy or if they're trying to tackle the GameFi vertical. They're all working relentlessly to bring the Bitcoin economy online. But yeah, some of the main things that come to my mind whenever I think Stacks, I think liquid stacking tokens with Stacking DAO, where you can earn up to 10% APY paid out in the token that you choose. Whether you use the STX option with auto compounding STX yield or daily payouts in SBTC, Stacking DAO is the go-to for earning yield on your stacks. And then you can take that over to Zest. Zest Protocol is the premier borrowing and lending platform here on Bitcoin via Stacks. A lot of different ways that you can go and collateralize your assets. You supply your assets, you're earning a little bit more APY on top already, and then you go and borrow stables for very, very cheap. They're sitting around 1% APR to borrow, and then it's 3.37% last time I checked to supply your SBTC on Zest. So there's a little bit of a yield arbitrage opportunity there. And there's one more thing that I wanted to touch on is trading. Trading within our ecosystem is becoming more efficient as well. You know, with the HODL MM, the Bitflow surfers have done it again, and you know, their DEX aggregator slash DEX is a very, very based one. Liquidity providers are able to go and get the most bang for their buck with their bins and steps system. You can go target different price areas that you feel like price will move through, and spread out your liquidity however you deem fit. You know, whether it's a custom strategy, or if you have a bid ask strategy, you have a curve strategy. There's many different ways that you can go and provide liquidity now. Another really cool thing about the HODL MM is that whenever you swap in price action, it stays within one bin. You know, your swap doesn't have to go into the next bin up to pull liquidity. You get 0% slippage or 0% price impact. It's very, very cool and needed for traders that want to trade in size. You know, I feel like having zero slippage trades is a huge unlock for this ecosystem. So I'm paying attention, keeping my ear low to the ground, trying to find the alpha. The best place to jump in and get started is in the Zest and Stacking DAO discords, and then from there you can kind of find your way around the ecosystem. That's where you can find me. I'll be in there. We have weekly activities. Today we have Zest game night. We're going to be getting together and playing some games together while I stream some footage with the GMFL, and you definitely want to follow at GMFL_BTC on X as well to see what's going on with the GameFi League. There are many verticals that are being challenged right now. But yeah, there are a lot of different projects being worked on at the moment, and I'm paying attention as much as I can. And every centimeter that I look, there's something new being built. So I'm very excited and accumulating at these prices. Get yourself set up for a generational run, guys. It's gonna get crazy, and it's gonna happen out of nowhere. So you guys have a blessed rest of your weekend, and I hope that, like I said, the high frequencies follow you. Better times are ahead, and you know, we'll get active, guys. Get mobilized in the Zest and Stacking DAO discords, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace.